This is the Russian Dynamite, Masha Slamovich.
Becca here.
This is not America's Sweetheart, Davian.
It's Billy Starks. And
the super fly guy, Trayvon Jordan.
This is the fly side flyer, Jalen Brandon.
Hardcore Princess, Jules Malone.
Hi there, this is the Bubblegum Princess, Alexia Nicole.
This is the Brazilian Wonder Woman, Christy Jane.
This is the baddest black belt, Chennai Kai.
This is Kid Bandit.
The smash hit Joel Bateman.
This is Robin Renegade.
Cody Hawk.
Brutal Bob Evans. And you are listening to Wrestling with Entertainment, one of my favorite podcasts in the whole wide world.
This is the third generation sensation, Jack Veneno Jr., and you're listening to Wrestling with Entertainment with me and James J.
Hello, and welcome to the show where it's Wrestling with Entertainment, the only audio experience on the web today, the trusted choice for interviewing all your favorite wrestlers every Tuesday and Wednesday on YouTube and CastBox, sponsored by Rogue Energy and Player One Coffee. And of course your host, James J. And it's a great day for wrestling, because we are wrestling with the third generation sensation, Jack Veneno Jr.
That's right. That's how to say it. You should introduce me when I have my matches in the future. That's for certain.
Hey, if you pay for my ticket to Sweden, I'll do it.
I'm gonna be in Finland next week, so let's think about that. I mean tomorrow. So it's gonna be too fast to make that decision.
Fair enough. But how are you today, Jack?
I'm pretty good. I just packed my stuff because I'm leaving 8 in the morning, as I just said, to Finland to wrestle back-to-back events Friday, Saturday for Slam Wrestling Finland. So I'm pretty stoked about that.
Hell yeah. And shout out to Starbuck, friend of the show, as well.
Yeah, absolutely. The shithole himself, Starbuck.
Do you know who you're wrestling in Finland?
Yeah, I know. Only for the first date, I'm wrestling a guy called Ville, like Will Carnage. Like he is like a dress-up hobo. Like you live in LA, so imagine people living on Skid Row. He looks like one of them.
I gotcha. All right. So it sounds like you already claimed victory.
Yeah, that's for certain. Like if he walks in with a needle, like I'm gonna be a little afraid in the ring, but otherwise, like I'm gonna punch it. Like how much can he weigh? Looks like a string. Has barely no hair, no muscles, and as I said, he looks like a hobo.
All right. Well, definitely, we'll put a pin in that for now. Pun intended.
Yeah, because I saw a 80-year-old lady outside today with a like a stroller with a walker, and she could beat that guy. So.
All right, Grandma Wrestling making her debut in Sweden.
Finland. It's Finland.
Finland. And where can we find you on social media?
I'm Jack Veneno Jr. At Instagram, and I have another page. I was a musician back before I started with wrestling, so I had that page on Facebook. But you can find it through Instagram. But I use Instagram for everything.
And where can we find merchandise?
Also on Instagram, it's DM, so you can look into it. I don't have any merchandise right now. I just do limited edition stuff. So I did hockey jerseys. I did when I was young. I played in the team here in Sweden, which Henrik Zetterberg was the same team which he started in. So I had the same color of that home jersey that we have, but I put my Jack Veneno logos, and I put Dominican brands logos all over the jersey, and I had like 10 of those, and it sold in one show. Like,
Wow.
I didn't even keep count for myself. It was crazy. It was so rare. So I only do rare stuff now and when. So keep posted on Instagram.
All right. Okay.
I wish you saw it. It was pretty awesome. It was different. I did different numbers also on the back, like from the players who was legendary in the team and had the jerseys in hung up in the rafters. So
It sounds amazing. And I mean, it's a collector's edition that the person himself doesn't have one of.
yeah, I like, even when I did music, I sold every merchandise I have. I have no merchandise or albums. I did a LP back in the day, but I don't even have that.
Hey, if it's a good problem to have.
Like, sometimes I reminisce, but it's for me, it was never meant to be for me. It was meant to be for my fans.
Right.
So that's why I never kept one for myself.
Well, speaking of fans, you work for Stockholm Pro Wrestling and Slam Pro Wrestling. Can you tell us about your relationship with those companies?
Yeah, it's pretty good. Like, I'm now into Svensk Wrestling too, so I'm into the 3 promotions. I'm into Valor too, so that's 4. So but between Slam and Stockholm, it's pretty good. Like, I have a good relation between both of them. Couldn't complain. Like, but the problem is Starbuck. I hate him. Like, I want to punch him in his face. So.
You know, that seems to be a trending topic in Slam, because he is the champion and everybody kind of wants a crack at him.
Yeah. Of course, and I can understand that. Like, Starbuck has been unbeaten champion for a couple of years now in Slam. So of course I want to take my shot at him too. But the problem is, first, Starbuck has really good punches. I don't want to acknowledge him at all. I really hate him, to be honest. But he has really good punches. So I have to, like, work on my bob and weaving to like duck the shots, but it's pretty hard. It's pretty hard to see me getting a title shot with him as for right now, because I'm not there. And I know that I have to work a little bit, because I don't want to just go in a match and have my ass beat by Starbuck. But
Right.
still, I want to fucking punch him in his face.
Well, I mean, Starbuck is a vet, 20 plus years experience. So, yeah, I can definitely understand that.
Yeah, he is so like, if I was stupid, I would just jump in a match with him and not be prepared. But for me now, with my age, I can wait him out. I can wait 1 or 2 years. He will lose his sharpness, but I will gain more. So that's what I'm thinking too. And other people will beat his ass until I get there, if he's still a champion. And guess what? The 3rd generation sensation is going to have a match with Starbuck and beat his ass.
All right. So, Starbuck versus Jack Veneno, Jr. A couple years down the line.
Yeah, why not? Why not?
Oh yeah. Well, somebody that you have been in the ring with. Can you tell us about your rivalry with Ozzy Miller?
Oh yeah, that was a tough one. Like, the first matches I had was to establish myself and show off, like, I'm really strong, and I build up a team called the Foreign Legion, and it was pretty, like, I was really after Ozzy because he was like put in title shots and given like easy matches. So I was like, I'm gonna take you down. I think you're like being here all along, and everybody likes you for nothing, for doing like nothing. You're not good at anything. So why do they even like you? So that was why I took him down in the first place. So we have some matches, but it ended up with him and me having a hardcore match, and he got the better of me in that match. So to be honest, and I really don't want to say it, but Ozzy was better than me that match. And it's not to say that he's better than me all and for all, because he's just a fat asshole that I just want to fucking stomp in the face all over again until it's like a squishy melon. But he got the better of me in that match. He's a tough one. He's a tough guy, really technical, knows his stuff. He knows when to duck. He knows when to lay low, when to take his chances. Yeah, he's good in the ring.
Would I be wrong in saying that was your first proper rivalry in pro wrestling?
Yeah, I would say yes.
And like you said, it culminated to that brutal hardcore match. Just being in a match where, no rules, things got very physical very fast. What was that experience like, being in a stipulation like that?
Like for me, I was never put in that kind of physical violence before, and it's hard because you cannot really say like, yeah, let's jump through chairs this time and just try it out and see if my body can withstand it if he throws me in them.
There's no practice.
So it's gonna be like, yeah, I cannot put up chairs by myself and throw myself through them just to harden my body. Like, of course, I have to go to the gym, but as I say, I never been put in that that much of a physical performance before, and he went for it. Like,
right.
The worst thing was when he threw me through the thumbtacks. Like, I got him through the thumbtacks with a power bomb, but after he got me, so that was not nice.
Yeah, I could imagine. Well, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe a bit. Oh, continue.
Yeah, it was. So we really tried now. Like in the match, it was hard because we had a staple gun, and it's really crazy because we have some audience and we have it on tape. We have some audience on the side, and he stapled me in my chest, and they just sat on the side, and I was like, "No, this is not real." And I pulled out the staple gun in front of it. It was all ladies, and they looked away, like they was like, "Oh shit, this is horrific." And blood was pouring, and he stapled me in my forehead too, and it was the same thing. People were looking, and the thing with the staple in my forehead, when I got backstage, I like wiped off my face. I didn't bleed so much, but I had the staple like in my forehead, so I wiped my face, and I felt the staple like in my skull, so I had to like pull it out really hard. It was like right in there.
So, is hardcore wrestling something you'd like to continue doing, or are you like, yeah, I'm good with this?
like for me with hardcore matches,
Yes.
that to prove that I am better than someone, and someone like accuses me for always cheating and always winning with cheating, of course I can I can say, yeah, let's do a hardcore match and then let's see if I'm better than you, like with no rules. I will do that. I will absolutely do that. But I will not do like hardcore matches back and forth.
Right. There needs to be a reason to have a hardcore match.
Yeah.
You only get stapled for the big matches.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. For the big bucks. For the bazookas.
Alright. Now, another match I found interesting that you were a part of, was you wrestled, Stark Adder, in, in Finland. Obviously, it was a tag team match, and obviously, Stark, one of the first pro wrestlers from Finland. So what was that experience like?
It's actually him who trained me. Him and Alice Inc. Are my trainers in wrestling. So it was nice to go with Marcus and have my trainer there with me, and he could just call the shots. Because like Marcus is super technical, but I'm a little bigger, so I'm not physical that big. But like I have sometimes a physical overhand, and especially over Stark. But damn, he's a technical guy, and he threatened me in the ring. He threatened to cut off my, do like an Indian thing and cut off my scalp, and pull it out. You know, like Indian did.
Yes, I know what
You
you're talking about.
Do you know? Yeah. He said that he would do that to me, and then that's when I tagged in Marcus. Like, fuck that, I'm not. And to be honest too, that guy really looks like a hobo. Like he really looks like he lives under a bridge somewhere. But the thing is, he looks like a trained hobo. Some hobos looks like they have no muscles, or they're like just fat, or just have some fat hanging down. But he looks like a fit hobo.
He's doing push-ups under the bridge.
Yeah, and I don't know what he's eating, because he's getting the gains.
Well, I mean,
He's absolutely getting gains.
well, I mean, we were talking about, Starbuck earlier and wanting to get in the ring with him. I feel like Stark is maybe, the closest extension to Starbuck that you could get right now. And I mean, you did wrestle him, so wrestling-wise,
Absolutely, you're absolutely correct about that. You're absolutely correct about that. But I got the better hand. Like, the thing is, I got caught off Amy when he was in the ring. So I won over him.
Right.
I got the pin of him, but I didn't do so much with Stark because I know I know he's good. Like, he's also really, really good. So that's why I tagged in Marcus, because Marcus, as we know, he has Marcus of Man, of course. That's who we're talking about. He has 15 years of experience. And I have been wrestling 1 year. So of course I'm going to send in a Marcus. Actually, I think it's this weekend or the next week, 1 year on the mark since I made my debut in Stockholm.
Well, happy wrestling birthday. Jack, can you hear me? So I was just saying, happy birthday, happy wrestling birthday.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. And I mean, you mentioned him. Your tag team partner, your coach. Can you tell us about your relationship with Marcus of Man?
It's good. Like we don't live too far from each other, so. But we see each other back and forth. We don't really have a training place as for right now, so.
Well,
But that's why.
well, I mean, like I said, he is your coach. What does it kind of mean to you to be your coach's tag team partner?
It's really nice to be honest. Like it's like he trains me in the ring. When we have the matches, like he can tell me like do that to the guy and I do it. Do that to the guy and I do it. Like it's so nice. And he can tell me before like think of this before the match, like having a coach and a guy that I can tag in when I feel like okay, I have to take some rest now. So of course.
What is it kind of obviously like I keep saying, he is your coach. So what does it kind of mean for you for him to say, I want you to be my tag team partner. I trust you to tag in and tag out with.
Once again? It cut off a little bit. Once again, I didn't hear you.
What does it mean to you that your coach, the guy that trained you, wanted you as his tag team partner? Like, I trust you to be the guy I tag in and tag out with.
You know what? This is crazy with all this. I was trained with Ozzy Miller by Marcus at the same time. That's why I also got jealous of him. But after I got beaten in the hardcore match, Marcus picked me to go with him to Finland. Can you imagine that?
Right.
I have not really talked with Marcus about that. I just leave it as it is. Because as for right now, I'm pretty happy working with him, with Marcus. So that's like, if you want to ask somebody about that situation, you should ask Marcus why he took that decision. Because I'm just there as a henchman.
Fair enough. I mean, if for anybody that doesn't know, Ozzy obviously Marcus went the other way with Ozzy. Lots of history there when it comes to their relationship. Alright. So, can you tell us the advantages and disadvantages of being a third generation wrestler?
How does it feel? It feels really crazy, man. It feels really, really crazy. The thing is, my dad lived in Dominican Republic and met my mom there, so I was born there, and then they decided to move us to Sweden since I was 1. So I grew up here. I still have contact with them. I travel back and forth. It feels great, but I feel like it's a lot of pressure. That's why I haven't wrestled in the islands yet, because I need more experience here before I go there. I cannot go there and look like an idiot. I have to go there and look like Jack Veneno. I have to go there looking like a champion.
Right. For anybody that doesn't know, I believe Jack Veneno was your great uncle, correct?
Yeah, my great uncle.
And for anybody that doesn't know, Jack Veneno Senior, very well established pro wrestler in Puerto Rico, wrestled Ric Flair, possibly won
At
the
Sushi.
Huh?
Yeah, he wrestled Ric Flair at Sushi Onita. He wrestled with Mil Mascaras. A lot of great people. A lot of great people.
Like you said, a lot of pressure. Big shoes to fill, no?
Yeah.
That being said, were you able to have a conversation with Jack Veneno Senior about pro wrestling?
No, the thing is, I met him when I was in 2001 the first time, and then I was like 9. So I just have a memory of him carrying me, and there was a lot of people there. That's the only thing I remember with it. And then it was when the year when he passed away, we were there at the funeral.
Okay.
We was there at 2021, if I don't remember it wrong.
Right.
So I didn't really have a conversation with wrestling with him. I did have wrestling conversations with my uncles who also did wrestling, like Rafi Sanchez, Miguel Sanchez, Miguel Veneno. Like all of them were also wrestlers. But I was only into watching wrestling. I was also a little bit into being a wrestler, but I didn't start becoming a wrestler until 2024. So it took me about 3 years making that decision. I was back and forth. So I started 2017 trying wrestling, and I got my hip dislocated. And at that time, yeah, and it was like at the third training, and at that time I worked in music, so my agent and manager told me, like, you have tours, you cannot do this, because if you hurt yourself, you cannot go on tour, and if you don't go on tour, you don't make us money, so you cannot be doing this. So I said no, and it was 2017, and then 2024, I picked up again, and first training, or like third training again, I dislocated my shoulder. But this time I have not given up on this, like, because this has been my boyhood dream for very, very long.
So, what kind of made you to because you are putting a lot of pressure on yourself right off the bat. Can you tell us about the story you want to finish?
The story I want to finish is possibly like age can be just a number, but it's also your sharpness. You will lose sharpness with age. So while I'm sharp, the only thing I talked with my uncles in Dominican Republic, like, the only thing we talk about is like getting a shot or getting the NWA title and bringing it back to Dominican Republic for real. That's what they asked me to do, but it's a long shot. I'm trying my best.
I can imagine that that's a lot of pressure, like right off the bat, when it comes to pro wrestlers just starting their career, the biggest pressure they have is just getting in the ring at first, and you're putting the pressure on of yourself of winning a world title.
Yeah, because I remember when I was in with my mom, with a phone call with them, like a video call, and told them like I started wrestling. I had my first match because I really didn't tell them at first, and they told me like, oh nice, blah blah blah. Blah. It was really like almost straight to the point. Like, what we want you to do now is go to the States, win the title, and bring it back to Dominican Republic. That's what we want you to do. That's what we want you to have as a goal.
And what kind of made you want to fill these shoes of Jack Veneno Sr.? Because, like you said, you kind of started a little later in pro wrestling.
Yeah, like of course he did. I know he started very early. He started in his 20s, or even earlier, going to Mexico, also training wrestling. I don't know really who trained him there, but uh, I started pretty late. But I feel the DDP in me. Like I've gone. I think for me, I have gone pretty far. Other wrestlers I know have been training for a couple of years and they have only been in one promotion. But I have really could have spread my wings a little bit and work in other promotions. And I know it's not only the name. I know that I do some things good in the ring that works and makes people think that it's good to have me on the show, because I would give the audience a real show when I smack the other guy right in the mouth so hard that he has to swallow his teeth.
Is wrestling in the Dominican Republic another goal of yours?
Yeah, but not as for right now.
Still wanna get prepared for that in Stockholm in Slam.
Yeah, the thing is, it's a lot of drama in Dominican Republic with the wrestling promotions and so the thing is, if I work there in one promotion, I don't think I can work all promotions.
Okay, so you wanna make sure you're in the right promotion.
Yeah, it's gonna be like they have a WWE and they have indie promotions as well. I checked into that a little bit, but the thing is, do I want to work the big show right off the bat, or do I want to work the small shows, like doing the indie shows in the small towns and then go to the big show?
Right. And I imagine it's a very different environment and wrestling style as well, no?
Yeah, absolutely. It's the biggest promotion there is DPW, Dominican Pro Wrestling. Uh, so there is the place to go, but I know it's a lot of all other promotions too.
Alright. I think it's time for Jack's Bizarre Adventure. You're a pro wrestler that
Yeah.
goes up and down the roads, and weird, crazy, and bizarre things are bound to happen. Can you tell us a road
Yeah.
story that fits that description?
Yeah, I can tell you the craziest road story I have. The thing is, we were in we were in Finland, in Hamina, a couple of months ago. That's the close to the Finnish border to Russia. It's like 1.5 hour drive to St. Petersburg, which is a big town in Russia.
Right.
So, as if some of you are history buff, you know that the Finns worked with the Nazis to get rid of the Russians during the Winter War, during World War II, if you maybe know the facts. Have you checked into that? Do you know that?
I did not know that.
Okay. They did to get rid of the Russians, but then they threw out the Nazis. They were like, we don't want you here. Thank you for the help. But the thing is, it's a legendary Finnish sniper that was from that town that we wrestled in. That's called Simo Heihe, that killed like 200 people with a sniper during World War II just with the iron sights of the gun. That was pretty good because I'm a history buff, so I knew that before going there. So when we stayed at the biker club, it was like on the wall they had Nazi memorabilia, they had NATO flag, they had support for Ukraine at the same wall. So I was like, I don't know what to think here, but they have like fucking Nazi symbols, like they have swastikas. Should I run? I don't know what to do. And Marcus of Man and Alice Inc. was there at that time. So we had a show and I was screaming because I would know that it was like they loved war veterans and all that. So I shit on the guy who killed the war veteran who killed 200 with a sniper. I shat on him during the show. And it was crazy. And we stayed at the biker place, and the bikers, they were cool. They know what it was. Like, they know what it was. But it was one guy who didn't. And he walked in. I was like, we did sauna. The thing is, the Finns there, the bikers were so nice to me after the show. They were like, we're going to do a sauna now. And I'm like, I don't drink. But they're like, oh, you're going to drink today? And you're going to do a sauna with us. I'm like, of course, I'm in fucking Finland. If you're in Rome, you drink the wine, you know? So I'm like, I'm taking a sauna. I'm chilling there. They were so fucking nice. I went out and was a big guy there. He was like maybe 7 feet, like 300 pounds. He was a big guy. He looked like a Big Show, but smaller, a little smaller. It was big guy, but it was like fat big. And he was looking at me, like staring at me at like 10 minutes while I was talking to other people. So I walked out to him. It was like 20 people at the bar, at the biker club who had a bar. And I walked up to him and I told him, thank you for being at the show. I'm sorry for saying that about your war veteran. And he told me straight up, he's like, I'm a Nazi. And I told him like, oh, great for you. Nice. And he's like, if you don't get out of the bar now, I'm going to stab you. And I was like, oh, shit. So I walked out and I walked by the sauna because the other biker guys and Marcus of Man was still in the sauna. And Starbuck was also in the sauna. So I walked past and Alice Inc. was in the bar. So I walked in to the sauna and I told Marcus like, it's a guy out there and he threatened to stab me. I think I'm going to go to our room a little bit. So I walked back to the room and I was checked my cell phone for 10 minutes. And I was like, no, I cannot handle this. I have to go back. And the thing is, in the sauna, I only said it in Swedish to Marcus. And Marcus is the only one there who understands Swedish. So I didn't know if he said to the other guys what happened. So I went back to the bar, and the big guy who threatened me wasn't even there anymore. So I told and just when I come in, like 2 seconds later, Marcus of Man and Starbuck walks out, and Alice of Inc. too. She was like, "What happened to you? Why did you leave?" Like, and the biker guys too was asking me, "Why did you leave? What happened?" And I was like, "Yeah, there was the big guy over there who threatened me, who just walked out." And they're like, "What? Him? He's not with us. He's not a part of this club. That's just an outsider." And I told them like he threatened me with a knife that he would stab me. And the thing is, all the Finns there, like this town, it lives like 5,000 people there. They have no police, they have nothing. Everybody pulled out the fucking knife and like was like, yeah, let's go out and talk to him. I was like, no, 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 no. You don't have to do that for me. No, no, absolutely not. Let's just leave it as it is. Because in Finland, they have a lot of killings during people in small towns getting really drunk and then arguing and stabbing each other. So I was like, no, let's not get into that.
Well, that was certainly a very bizarre adventure to say the least.
Absolutely. That's I think that's my absolutely wildest road story yet. I have some more, but yeah.
You want to share?
Do I want to share them? No, not really.
Fair enough.
It's I don't know. I don't really want to criminalize myself, so
Fair enough. But yeah, definitely an interesting story. It's not every day you get threatened to be stabbed by a Nazi.
the thing is, I have been back to Finland after that. Like, I have nuclear heat there. Like, people really, really, really hate me. Like, they don't like me there at all. And I'm absolutely okay with that.
Hey, you're doing your job right.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, you mentioned it. Before pro wrestling, you were a rapper, musician. Can you tell us about your music?
Yeah, I did hip hop and R&B for 12 years before I started with wrestling. So yeah, I also studied music for 5 years at the university. So that was my main thing before I got into wrestling at all. So the thing is, it was easy to do the transition because it was both show business. It both worked as show business. The people act the same. The people are the same basically, but what we do to perform is different. So for me, that kind of transition was easy for me.
Okay, I gotcha.
But what you have to know what to do in the ring is different, because that is what I have to learn. But how I think I know the business work, I think I have a little understanding of it.
Are you still doing music, or has that been on the back burner since pro wrestling?
It's like yes and no. I still do music and I don't do music.
Okay.
It's hard to explain because I don't do music right now because I don't enjoy it like I did. I don't enjoy it as much as I did because I stopped doing music for like 2 years back. It was 1 year that I didn't do music, then I started wrestling.
Okay. So maybe kind of fell out of love with music a bit.
Yeah, I didn't really like I have the same thing in wrestling now. Like, of course, you're gonna have your dog years and pay your dues and do whatever it takes to get there. But at the end, I have to make money doing this, so I don't have to work. The end.
Gotcha. Well, correct me if I'm wrong, but you are an actor as well, no?
Yes, you're really good at this. Fuck, you're really good at this. Yes, I did some acting too.
Can you tell us about some of the parts you've had?
Yeah, I did some TV shows and some other stuff. I did some. I acted as everything. I was an extra at first, and then I got roles by just searching for them. I didn't get them through being an extra. I searched for that kind of roles, and this was also before I did wrestling. So I acted as a cop. I don't really remember. I did so much, and it was like in 1 year I had like over 120 like extra and commercial and movies, and I was in everything. I took everything. It was like almost a full-time job, and I did music at the side. I really want to do that with wrestling now too, but it's hard because usually they want to record movie stuff at the weekends. So it's hard to get, because and wrestling is usually at the weekends too, so it's hard to get that together.
Is there any role that sticks out to you?
What kind of role?
Was there any set or scene you were in that sticks out to you?
Yeah, especially one, because in Sweden it's a what do you call it? It's like a movie trilogy, or it was a movie series about a thing called Jönssonligan, where it was like 3 guys doing robberies. It was like for kids, basically. It was no killings. It was like just fun.
Okay.
And I watched that when I was very young, and they did a remake now when I was older, and I got a part as an extra in that movie, and it meant so much to me, because it was like I watched this movie so much when I was younger with my dad, which meant so much to me, and now when I'm older, being in the remake with a lot of famous actors, it was amazing to do, actually. Like, it was the best thing. I couldn't be happier to be in that movie.
Oh yeah. Alright. Now this next question, I'm just gonna throw a name out there, and you just tell me what the context of this is, because I'm not entirely sure myself. So maybe you could shed some light. Mike Jardine.
Mike Jardine? No, I don't really recognize that name.
This was on, you saw the video where you, were speaking to an investigator, and
Why are you so good at this? Why are you so good at this?
it's my job.
Why are you so good at this? Yeah, I talked to Mike Jardine. Chief Detective Mike Jardine, if I may. I say it as he wants to. Yeah, he pissed me off. You know this.
What was the context? Was that a shoot, a walk? What exactly was I watching?
You were watching a cop getting owned. That's the context of it. You watched Mike Jardine getting owned, and had to do the walk of shame back to the office.
So, it was a shoot.
Absolutely. It was 100% a shoot.
Interesting.
Yeah, it was that was 100% a shoot. That was not fake. Absolutely not.
Was there ever a fear that you might get arrested?
The thing is, if you were to speak Swedish, when I was in a movie set back in the day, it's like 4 years ago. This is released just a couple of days ago, and it's a movie clip when I'm in police clothes, and I said like I hate cops, blah blah blah. Movies, food is free. I can just walk into a shop and kill a guy, and I speak on the radio like fuck all cops. I said that, and I sent it to like a channel who put it out, and they have like 200,000 followers, and they put it together, and they released like police clips here in Sweden when they like people film robberies and all that, and they put it up on their story. That shit blew up with like 100,000 views now in like 3 days, and it's crazy because that's obviously fake. I'm acting. Like even a lawyer told me like you cannot be pulled over for that because you're acting.
Right.
If I know what my right is, I am within the right to do it, I have no problem exposing myself while I'm doing that. However, if I were to do something illegal on camera, I will not show that to anybody, obviously.
Right.
If I were to do that.
Alright. I think it's time for the colossal question. Let's say they're making a movie about you. Every movie has a soundtrack. What would be the first 3 songs on your movie soundtrack?
The first 3 songs.
Yes.
I would have Trentemøller with Miss You.
Okay.
Which you should check out. I should send them to you so you can understand them. And then I would have Agret with Hatfield and the North.
Okay.
And then would be like Luther Vandross, Dance with My Father. That would be the 3 songs I would have, because Luther Vandross is my all-time favorite artist, all time.
Hell yeah. Can't go wrong with Luther Vandross.
Oh no, absolutely not, absolutely not. And the story about him is amazing too.
A solid 3 picks to say the least.
Yeah. And it's 3 different kind of songs, but all of them are really, really mellow and slow. I like slow music. I am not so into hard, fast metal music. I do enjoy it, but that's not the music I have in my headphones or what I would have presenting if I have music presenting myself in a movie.
I gotcha. Alright, now that we have the soundtrack down, everybody knows you get the soundtrack first, then you write the script, and then you go to casting. Who plays Jack? And you can't say yourself because you were obligated to make a Stan Lee-esque cameo.
Oh, who will play Jack? Like, can I pick any actor?
Yeah, anybody. Live, dead, young, old, CGI's a thing. We have unlimited budget, so we'll make it work.
Oh, I would really have like Michael Douglas. Oh, he's really good. Michael Douglas, absolutely. Because Falling Down with Michael Douglas is my favorite movie.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, and it's in LA, of course. You're in LA.
Yes.
That's crazy. So yeah, would be because of course I have darker skin color. So if a movie should work in the correct way, I have to choose someone. But as you say, we have CGI. I would use Michael Douglas.
Hell yeah. Now that we have you casted, every movie has a supporting cast. Who would be three people significant to you and your story, and who would play them?
Ooh, it's hard because if the wrestling story wise, I can just fantasize of what I will be in the future. I cannot really choose people from where I am as for right now because I don't have enough storylines.
Okay, well, I mean, it doesn't have to be wrestling related. It can just be people that have, special meaning in your life.
Yeah, yeah.
So, who would be three people with meaning to your life that would be important for to be in your story?
Like actor wise too.
Um, yes, but people in your life, and who would play them?
Like I would have my dad. No, I can. That's too hard for me. Like it's no. I can't really explain that question. It's too hard as for right now.
Okay, fair
Like
enough.
where I'm at storyline wise, I cannot fulfill that because I don't really have enough stories to fill that as for right now. I need more time to build up, establish more, and then I can say like this. Now we have a movie because we need a script. We just have a start. I'm in the second chapter of my career, so I need like 10 chapters to build a movie.
I gotcha. I mean, I feel like Marcus of Man would definitely be in there.
Oh, absolutely, 100%. Alice Inc. would absolutely also be in there, and I would say if I hate to say it, and Starbuck would be there too.
And Starbuck could actually play himself because he is an actor as well.
Oh yeah, he is. I didn't know that.
Yes. Very big
Yeah.
Finnish movie star.
Hey, do you know what he also did?
What?
Yeah, he punched the old lady in her mouth once and robbed her of her purse because he was a crack addict back in the 1990s in Canada.
Well, we'll have somebody fact check that. I don't believe that's true.
That's absolutely true. I saw him smoke weed with John Hopkins and Sloan Kettering, and they was blazing that crack up every day.
Again, these are just allegations. Um, but either way, it is sounding like a great movie. A blockbuster to say the least. And you could pre-order the tickets now.
Här var klart. Det är nog iPhone, eller? Eller är den här?
Now on to a controversial subject. Pineapple on pizza. What's your stance?
I'm okay with that. It's actually Canadian or Greek Canadian. It was a Greek immigrant moving to Canada who called an like Hawaiian pizza or something first, or
Yep.
Hawaii. I don't fucking know.
But yeah, it was pretty popular in Sweden when I grew up, and then it was controversial when Gordon Ramsay talked about it for the first time. So I actually have no problem with that.
All right. So pro pineapple on pizza.
I'm not pro. I'm like, I have no problem with it. Like I would, but the thing is, I wouldn't go to like Italy and beg them to put pineapple on pizza because I have a craving for it. Because they're like, we don't really fuck with it. But here it's our cuisine, so they have to accept it whilst they're here. If we like eat it like that, so.
I gotcha. All right. What's your spirit Pokemon?
I never watched Pokemon or sim the Pokemon actually.
Okay.
No, it's never, no.
Weirdest question you'll be asked on a wrestling interview, hopefully. Would you ever consider wrestling a Rock? Not Dwayne Johnson, not the country, an actual physical Rock.
Yeah, because if I would wrestle a Rock, I would look better than Ozzy Miller and Jay Miller, and Seb Day and Eddie Airborne and Ken Sane. Do you need any more names? Do you need any more of these fucking idiot marks? These fucking idiot bitches?
No.
Huh?
No.
Do you need it?
No, I'm good.
Good, thank you.
But just for context, there's a wrestler named Psycho Mike that indeed wrestled a Rock for over 15 minutes in a Tungsten Man match. That's an Iron Man match that lasts for 2 weeks.
Where did this happen?
Canada.
Okay. If it was some place in the world where that would happen, it had to be Canada, right?
Oh, 100%.
So makes sense.
On a more serious note, where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Either working in Japan or somewhere in the States or the islands, like Latin America and Mexico, like somewhere there. I really want to go big.
Alright. And what is a match people should go out of their way to see that best shows off what you are all about as a pro wrestler?
I think absolutely the match I had with when we had a Survivor Series match. My team, the Foreign Legion team, against Ozzy Miller's team with Captain Charisma, the announcer. When me and Imre was at the end, and I beat the crap out of him. I think that sequence at the end when it was only him and me. I think that really shows up of what I can do in the ring.
Can we find this on YouTube?
Yeah, absolutely. Let me see if I can find it here. I think it's out. I can find it for you and send it.
If you can, that'd be much appreciated. And I could put the link to the match in the description in the video below, but on YouTube and Castbox for anybody that hasn't seen it, wants to re-see it after this interview.
Yeah, you can see it. I have it here on my YouTube channel at Foreign Legion versus Charisma Check for Stockholm Wrestling.
Perfect. If you could send that to me afterwards, that'd be greatly appreciated.
Absolutely.
Alright. And since we are nearing the conclusion of this interview, we are wrestling with the 8 questions of doom. This is our speed round, a bonus round, the round where we see who you really are. Are you ready?
I think so.
Excluding yourself, greatest wrestler of all time.
For me, it's Scott Steiner.
Worst wrestler.
Viggen.
Ooh. You're main eventing WrestleMania for the World Championship. Who is your opponent?
Dead or Alive?
Yeah.
The Rock.
If you could come out to anyone's entrance music, past or present, who would it be?
Oh, that's a hard one. I think the Four Horsemen.
Finish the sentence. Kayfabe is...
Alive.
We would have also accepted taste great on toast.
Well, fun. Oh yeah, whatever.
Squash. Vegetable or fruit?
Match.
I will accept that answer.
Squash match.
New Japan wrestler Taichi. His ring gear gets smaller every year, revealing more of himself to the world. My question, what is the appropriate trunks to butt cheek ratio for ring gear?
I don't know. I don't know. No, move on. I don't really get into that. I don't really look at other guys at that. Nah, go. Yeah, let's not talk about that.
It sounds like full coverage.
Yeah, absolutely. If you ask me.
And the last question, the main event, the thing everybody wants to know. Have you ever had a conversation with a stranger in a supermarket about Darby Allin?
Who's Darby Allin?
And that's the correct answer.
Good.
AEW Pro Wrestler?
Well, I to be honest, I never watched AEW.
Well, you definitely have something on me because I didn't know what AEW wrestling was.
Like, I'm not into that at all.
No, I completely understand. That will conclude this interview. Thank you so much for coming on and doing this with me.
Thank you, and now I will go to sleep to get some sleep until I go to Finland tomorrow.
Absolutely, and once again, where can we find you on social media?
You can find me on Jack Veneno Jr. on Instagram.
And you don't have to type it into your Google machine. All of the links to his social media will be in the description of the video below, but on YouTube and Castbox, this was Sponge. Simply click the link. A new tab will appear on whatever device you're on. You have no excuse. Give him a damn follow. Of course, thank you for listening. If you like what we're doing, please like, subscribe, comment. But on YouTube and Castbox, this was sponsored by Rogue Energy and Player One Coffee. Join us next Tuesday and Wednesday for new incredible interviews, and follow the show at Wrestling with E, but on X, Thread, and Instagram for information on who we're interviewing, when we're interviewing them, links to those interviews, and so much more. Follow me personally at JamesG993. Alright, when I say Wrestling Wit, you say entertainment, okay?
Yeah, maybe.
For our very special guest, Jack Veneno Jr., Kaliko Yacht, Scooter Dust, I'm James J, and this has been Wrestling Wit.
Entertainment, and I'm Jack Veneno Jr, the third generation sensation, and the forthcoming superstar in Europe, Sweden, Finland, Norway, Denmark especially. So if you want to get your ass beaten, just come over here, just talk to me on Instagram, ask me for a match, and I will hook you up, and I will shove a fucking baton up your ass, you fucking bitch. You happy now? You happy now, James?
Hey folks, this is the Colossal Mike Law, and you are listening to Wrestling with Entertainment. Enjoy the show, support these guys. We appreciate it very much. We'll see you at ringside.